Hey guys, Brickset here, and today I'm going to be taking you through some of the smaller changes I've made in the city that kind of didn't really warrant their own video, but I still want to talk about them, so that's what this video is for. The way that this video is being recorded is kind of weird. I'm recording this segment now, but then the next segment that will play I recorded a couple of days ago, just because I actually, right after I recorded the video about the Temple of Air Jitsu, I just kind of kept going and walked through a bunch of other changes, but I didn't do like an intro, so I kind of needed to record an intro to that video, but also there's been like updates since I recorded that last part, so I figured I might as well kind of talk about those in a quick segment beforehand. So here we go. One thing that you will notice that's not really a city update, but it is a camera update. So I noticed in a lot of my recent videos, because I'm just using my phone to record and I'm using my phone microphone, whenever I'm like touching my phone or switching hands to just hold my phone, you hear that a lot in the recording, and I can't stand it. So I built a little sort of kind of phone holder thing. So this is what the phone holder looks like. It's just sort of the top of the camera, but then I just put a little grip on it so I can actually sort of kind of hold it one-handed. So yeah, hopefully this gets rid of a lot of the sort of jitter noise of me just switching hands or adjusting my hand during filming. So with that out of the way, we'll take a look at some of the updates. So here's a pretty big one. Well, I got bored a couple days ago, and I took out this kind of I had a bin of classic Lego. These three sets are like classic Lego to me. This digger, the passenger train from 2009. It's 2009 or 2010, and then the train station from that same wave. And I really like these sets. I don't know. It just sort of made me like want a train in the city more badly. And it might not be this one, and it might not be this one for a couple of reasons. One, me as a child did a pretty, I was a child, so the stickers represent that. If you look like this red stripe right here, this is crooked. There's like one of these everywhere, and none of them are straight, and it just looks so bad. So that, and then there's like scuff marks because I actually played with this. Like I don't really play with those, but I did play with this set. You'll notice there's like scuff marks kind of just from other trains, other bricks kind of hitting it, especially with the train, because this thing has a motor, which is a bad thing to give a child. So yeah. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Like on the train station, a couple of the sloped pieces, that one like in the top, there's like a really bad scuff on it, and because the train would find itself going into the station or something. I don't know what I did. But yeah, I did have to kind of take the electrical components apart and do a little contact cleaning. But it does it does still run, and I really like that. So yeah, and I was like, oh man, and I did kind of acquire a decent amount of track. I've also used this track for like the Winter Village train, which a couple of years ago my Winter Village setup was on this table. It kind of can't be anymore. Actually, this year, so last Christmas, it was on this table, and I set it up using kind of the road base plates. But then right after that, it didn't really work to... I'm not going to be able to kind of, take this all apart and this is kind of a permanent installation right now. Um, so the Winter Village is not going to be on this table, which it's a white table because I wanted snow, but for the Winter Village. Fun fact. So I have enough track for, I think, kind of 2 loops. And then I do have the X crossing here. And I don't know, I kind of want to put a train in the city. It might not be that one because of the stickers. And I have been doing a little bit of research, and this passenger train from 2018, well, there's only one sort of front end or back end. So if I got 2 of them, I could have a 6 long train very easily. Sort of all the other passenger trains, they're like this one, where you get this car in the back, which is sort of the back. So it's a little bit harder to sort of make a whole bunch. Like if I bought 2 of this set, then I would really only have like a 4-car long train. Because I mean, I could probably sort of custom make one using sort of the 2 ends, but with that 2018 set, and I really hope Lego keeps doing this, if you get 2 of them, then you have a 6 long, and because the front just becomes the back on the other side, and you could synchronize the motors and kind of rewire it so the back motor spins backwards. But it's certainly possible, and something that I would do. Now, before I do any of that, the first thing that I'd have to do is figure out whether or not this city will work with a train. I've kind of been against it for so long just because it's like it takes up a lot of space. And I still think it does. But I really want to do it. So I've been sort of figuring out, obviously I have the ocean here, so that really wouldn't work to have the train running through there. I would have to, kind of the biggest loop that I could possibly do would be something like, along here, and then have it sort of run along the beach. The problem is that I've kind of already done all of that. Like, I don't know. I like this park, and I like having the road right next to sort of the boardwalk. So I don't know. And then the temple back there, I can't really run any train track behind it because the temple is already off the table. So that wouldn't work. So I don't know. I'll look into that and do some experimenting off camera. That's kind of what this setup was. Like, I know I'm going to lose a base plate in the corners, but how would that look? And then the other problem is I don't want to have to sort of do like crossroads. I would kind of have to go crossroad heavy in the current road layout, and I don't like that. So we'll see. Kind of right now what I'm looking at is kind of the best way to do this would be to sort of shift everything over. So I have 4 32 by 32 base plates in the middle, and then the 2 outsides would be 16 by 32s, and then the track would be along those 16 by 32s. I kind of wish that I would be very okay with running the train track right next to the road. The problem is that the train track is 8 studs and this is 6. So it wouldn't really work out, but I don't know. So I'm not saying it will happen, but I kind of want it to, so we're going to do some experimenting. So that's kind of my whole spiel on trains and the possibility of putting some trains in the city. We will see. And now on to some other sort of miscellaneous updates, which happened before I thought about putting trains in, so you won't see any trains. Also, I started sort of doing a rough layout of what the police station kind of floor plan would look like, but then I stopped myself because I have way too many other projects that I should maybe try to finish before I start something new, but that's what it will look like, I guess. Really, it's just the sidewalk will be there, and there'll be like a door, kind of a closet. I have an idea. I'll talk about it when I get to that, when I get around to actually building that. Moving over here, we have the start of Chen's Noodle House. I can't remember if I've really talked about this at all yet, but I'll just kind of go over it. Basically, I'm thinking I'll do it on this really small base plate, just because it really, I don't know, it should be small, and it really doesn't need much more space. So right in here is sort of a placeholder, like that will be the sort of the rotating belt. It won't actually rotate because there's not enough space, but there'll be sort of the belt with like food, and there'll be some tables, and back here in this sort of corner will be sort of the kitchen area. I tried to do the floor plan the same as the show. So you walk in here, there's a window here that's sort of displaying some noodle dishes and sushi and things, which I'll put a shelf back there, or I might just leave it as a window so you can sort of see inside. And then there's an ATM right here, which I kind of started suggesting that. And then on the outside, this isn't actually in the thing, but I wanted to incorporate these really nice windows into it. These are from the Tournament Showdown set that's in pieces over there. And yeah, so those will kind of be there. Maybe they'll move. I don't know. But basically, that's kind of what I'm thinking. The front is red. I'm not sure about the side walls, but you walk in, there'll be a little kind of waiter here. Tables, kitchen. Then this is the door to the alleyway, which will also lead you back into the market. Well, it's not a market right now, but it will be the market, which will have to be on a 16 by 32 base plate. And these are some things from sets that I'll probably include in the market, like this sort of light string, and for sure this kind of food stand. And I was thinking about adding like parts of the gamers market. I have not seen any of season 12 yet, so I don't really know exactly what the deal is with that. But I was thinking, like, from what I do know, I think I might sort of put a little sort of gamer, like the gamerverse area in my city, and that could just be like a small section of the marketplace is just, this weapon shop and the item market. This thing, I don't know. It's not like, it looks cool. I might take off the Unigami thing, and then it might just be kind of the cool like entryway to the market or something. I don't know, because it does look really nice. But yeah, so some other buildings that I want to build, and they'll maybe go in this area. So I'm not doing Chen's Noodle House on a 16 by 32, so that will be another kind of small building. Things that I have to think about, I want to do a magic shop. I want to do like an arcade. The bakery / a little cafe. The bakery I'm thinking will be kind of the Foria's Cafe. This is from that Spider-Man set. But yeah, the magic shop will have all kinds of Harry Potter references. I'm thinking I'll try to build it kind of primarily using sort of the purple windows and stuff from the Night Bus, the 2011 one. The 2011 one, I just parted it out. So I have all of the purple bricks and things. There's not that many bricks, but there are a lot of windows, which might be kind of cool. These, which I know they're kind of the train window style, but I think I could make it look kind of quirky, and it's a weird magic shop kind of thing. So it makes sense that it'd be kind of weird. So that's what the old Night Bus turned into. I do have the new Night Bus, I guess. Yeah, that was just a 2019 set. So the more recent Night Bus I might include in the city is just a reference. This is Ninjago City, but I'm a Harry Potter fan, and I have a significant number of Harry Potter Legos and things. So I think that something I want to do is sort of incorporate just other licenses and things that I enjoy, like this Iron Man Hall of Armor. Won't be in this exact form, but I do want to have sort of the Hall of Armor in one of the floors of Borg Tower, because the color scheme is really the same, and I just think it'd be a cool Easter egg. So, yeah. One thing to think about is the flesh tone versus yellow faces of non-licensed minifigures, and I sort of want to not really have flesh tone figures in, just because I don't know, I think it looks weird. Like, then it's like less Lego, and like it's, I don't know, it's just a personal thing. My one kind of exception to that would be Pepper Potts and Tony Stark, but those two figures would be inside of a building, so they would still be in the city, but it's not like you would be looking at them all the time, so you wouldn't really see the flesh tone. But the Iron Man suits don't have any, I guess they do have flesh tone heads, but you can't see that. And if I really wanted to, I could just put a yellow head underneath it. But I might, so I'm thinking like, some sort of licensed characters that don't have flesh tone parts, I could put out in the city. Like, I could put a Hulk out because it'd be green, so it wouldn't look weird next to yellow minifigures because it's like green. I'm trying to think if there's any Harry Potter examples. Not really. But there are some Harry Potter minifigures that are yellow from the way early sets, so I could just swap faces and hand colors if I got down to it. I guess like Voldemort is white, so maybe I'll put Voldemort wrecking havoc somewhere. I don't know, just things. But there's also enough sort of generic Lego wizard type people. One of them is from the collectible minifigure series. And that was who I was planning to run the magic shop. That will be somewhere in this area, maybe this base plate or something, because I have these three now and I don't know what to do with them. That one's the Palace Cinema. That's Assembly Square. I still think I want the Parisian restaurant in this gap. And then the market will be here, but I have this smaller base plate, I have these two, and then I have these two. One idea that I had is I could do a Ninjago museum, and the museum, I could build it super show accurate, and it would probably be really big and take up like both base plates here. So that would be one option, but I could also build the museum in a 32 by 32. That's your little update on this area. So yeah, I'm going to not build that, and I'm going to build this. But before I build this, what I really should do is if we mosey on over here, Paradise Cafe it has a coffee machine, and that is it for interior. So I should work on that. Also, the surf shop below it is just completely hollow. So I want to work on kind of those details more. And also over here, that's coming apart. I'm not a huge... This side of this is too small, and I don't know what I should do to fix it, but I want to make it bigger and like more bulky, just to, I don't know, it seems really like almost not minifigure scale. I think it might be like this is supposed to be like a big like church dome, and it's really small. Like it's good, it's a good build, but it seems really small in comparison to everything else. I don't know. I'll work on that. I want to put those two pieces in under the kind of sewer area. They did this technique in Ninjago City right there. So I kind of want to mirror that again, just because I think that's a really cool look. Using the sort of the creature joints, they look like sewers kind of going back. But yeah, so lots of little projects for me to work on. I don't know. I should really do the interior stuff, and I should just set up minifigures. Like I have a whole pile there of people, and it makes the beach look bad, even though the beach is like pretty close to, like in my eyes, complete for right now. But it looks bad because it's kind of just a area where I put things. But you know, I'll fix it eventually, and I do need to sort of figure out these areas that are more balcony like. But I'll do that. And then one thing I was thinking about, and I don't know that this would happen anytime soon, but the bookshop modular, I love it. And maybe it's because this is actually my very first modular building, but I think it would be really easy, especially with the bookshop, to, if I got another one of these sets, which they're still available, and they'll probably still be available for a couple of years. So this might actually kind of happen. It might take a while, but this might happen. It's 2 buildings in one set. So I would get another townhome, which I think I would just build exactly kind of as is. I might change up the interior afterwards, but so I would have kind of 2 of these townhomes that look the same right next to each other. And then I would have another bookshop, but it doesn't, because it's a townhome, so it makes sense that there's multiple of them. And I think it would look cool if there were 2 right next to each other. But the bookshop doesn't really make sense that there's like 2 bookshops. So with the bookshop, I could take this bookshop apart and sort of, well, essentially it would be like I would put the other bookshop right next to it, but then I would sort of combine them into one bigger bookshop that takes up the whole base plate. I just think that would be really cool. And it would probably actually work out without any other pieces. Like I could probably just do it with the set, because there is, I would have, basically I would be removing the interior walls of both of them. So I would have actually a lot of the pieces to sort of make the modifications. And then the entryway, I would just probably leave here, but then on the second one, probably get rid of the door and do another one of the windows or something. I don't know. I was just toying with that idea, and I'm like, that might actually be really, really cool. So we will see what happens with that. But yeah. Oh, I built the Elmo, and I'm kind of happy with it. And I already have a lot of things sort of roaming around attacking the city, so why not one more? I do like Sesame Street. If that Sesame Street Lego set that's supposed to come out is like close to a modular building, that's going in the city. I just thought about that, because the original project was very much like a kind of a New York brownstone, like a building, It should be soon, because we've known about it for a while. I don't know the exact release schedule of that, but that is going to do it for this video today, because I've been talking for a very long time, and this video is probably very long. So there you go. That was a lot of information, but I haven't really talked about the little details in the city in a while, so I just thought I'd do that. So that is going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, share it with your friends, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.